Lesson: Employment contracts. Employment contracts are a fundamental component of the employer-employee relationship, serving as the legal foundation that outlines the rights and responsibilities of both parties. These contracts are not merely formalities, they are strategic tools that can significantly influence organizational effectiveness and employee satisfaction. Given the complexity and variability of employment contracts, professionals aiming to specialize in contract law must equip themselves with practical tools and frameworks to navigate these challenges effectively. The first step in mastering employment contracts involves understanding the essential elements that constitute a valid contract. These elements include offer, acceptance, consideration, mutual consent, and legal purpose. Each component plays a crucial role in ensuring that the contract is enforceable and that both parties are protected. For instance, the offer must be clear and definite, detailing the terms of employment, such as job role, salary, and duration. Acceptance requires the unequivocal agreement of the offeree, often demonstrated by the signing of the contract. Consideration refers to the exchange of value, typically the employee's services in return for compensation. Mutual consent ensures that both parties have a shared understanding of the contract terms, while legal purpose mandates that the contract's objectives are lawful. A practical tool for ensuring the completeness and clarity of employment contracts is the use of a checklist. This checklist can include verifying that all essential elements are present, that terms are clearly defined, and that the contract complies with relevant laws and regulations. Utilizing such a checklist can prevent common pitfalls such as ambiguous terms or unenforceable clauses, which can lead to disputes. For example, a case study involving the tech company ABC Corp. Demonstrated that the use of a detailed checklist reduced contract disputes by 30% over a year, highlighting the efficacy of this approach. In addition to the foundational elements, employment contracts often include specific clauses that address various aspects of the employment relationship. These clauses may cover confidentiality, non-compete agreements, dispute resolution mechanisms, and termination conditions. Each clause serves a strategic purpose and can be tailored to meet the specific needs of the organization and the nature of the employment. For instance, confidentiality clauses protect proprietary information, which is crucial for companies operating in competitive industries. The strategic drafting of a non-compete agreement, on the other hand, can prevent former employees from joining competitors, thereby safeguarding the company's market position. To effectively draft these clauses, professionals can employ the framework of risk assessment and mitigation. This involves identifying potential risks associated with each clause and developing strategies to minimize these risks. For example, when drafting a non-compete clause, it is essential to balance the employer's need for protection with the employee's right to work. A practical approach is to ensure that the non-compete clause is reasonable in scope, duration, and geographic area. A study published in the Journal of Employment and Labor Law found that companies adopting this balanced approach faced fewer legal challenges and enjoyed higher employee retention rates. Another critical aspect of employment contracts is compliance with labor laws and regulations. These laws vary significantly across jurisdictions and can impact various contract elements such as minimum wage, overtime pay, and working hours. Failure to comply can lead to legal penalties and reputational damage. Professionals specializing in employment contracts must stay informed about relevant legal developments and ensure that contracts are updated accordingly. One effective strategy is to establish a compliance monitoring system that regularly reviews contracts against current legal standards. This proactive approach not only ensures compliance, but also builds trust with employees, enhancing the overall employment relationship. Consider the case of DF Manufacturing, a company that implemented a compliance monitoring system to align its employment contracts with evolving labor laws. This system involved regular training sessions for HR personnel and periodic audits of employment contracts. As a result, DF Manufacturing reported a 50% reduction in labor-related legal disputes within 2 years, underscoring the importance of compliance in contract management. Negotiation is another pivotal skill in the realm of employment contracts. Negotiating contract terms can be complex, involving multiple stakeholders with diverse interests. Successful negotiation requires preparation, effective communication, and the ability to find mutually beneficial solutions. One practical tool for negotiation is the BATNA framework. This involves identifying the best alternative if negotiations fail and using this knowledge to guide decision-making. By understanding their BATNA, professionals can negotiate from a position of strength and make informed concessions. An example of the BATNA framework in action can be seen in the negotiation process of XYZ Corporation, a multinational firm negotiating employment terms with a prospective executive. By clearly defining its BATNA, XYZ Corporation was able to negotiate favorable terms that aligned with both the company's strategic goals and the executive's career objectives. This led to a successful hire and a productive employment relationship, demonstrating the power of strategic negotiation. Beyond negotiation, managing changes to employment contracts is a critical skill. Changes may arise due to evolving business needs, legal requirements, or employee requests. Managing these changes requires a clear process that ensures transparency and mutual agreement. One effective framework is the contract change management process, which includes steps such as identifying the need for change, evaluating the impact, obtaining consent, and documenting the amendment. This structured approach minimizes misunderstandings and ensures that changes are implemented smoothly. For instance, GHI Services, a service-oriented business, implemented the CCMP framework to manage changes in employment contracts related to remote work arrangements. By following the structured process, GHI Services was able to adapt its contracts efficiently, leading to improved employee satisfaction and productivity during the transition to remote work. Moreover, the enforcement of employment contracts is a critical aspect that professionals must master. Enforcement mechanisms can include arbitration, mediation, or litigation, depending on the nature of the dispute and the terms of the contract. Understanding the advantages and limitations of each mechanism allows professionals to advise their clients on the most appropriate course of action. For example, arbitration can offer a quicker and more private resolution compared to litigation, making it an attractive option for many organizations. A pertinent example is the case of JKL Enterprises, which faced a contract dispute with a former employee. By opting for arbitration as outlined in the employment contract, JKL Enterprises was able to resolve the dispute efficiently and maintain confidentiality, preserving its reputation in the industry. This case highlights the importance of including well-defined enforcement mechanisms in employment contracts. In conclusion, employment contracts are multifaceted instruments that require a deep understanding of legal principles, strategic drafting, compliance, negotiation, change management, and enforcement. By employing practical tools and frameworks such as checklists, risk assessment, compliance monitoring systems, BATNA, CCMP, and arbitration, professionals can enhance their proficiency in managing employment contracts. These strategies not only mitigate risks, but also contribute to building robust employer-employee relationships, ultimately driving organizational success. As the employment landscape continues to evolve, professionals who master these skills will be well equipped to address the challenges and opportunities that arise in the field of employment contracts.